Hi everybody, hope you're all well. Just looking at a article, and this is on thing about apparently Schrödinger believed there was only one consciousness in the universe. So yeah, so this was the guy known for the Schrodinger's cat experiment. Well, it was a thought experiment, but so how are you doing tonight, everybody? So just looking at this article, and so people assume that that other people have their own consciousnesses, if you will, but some argue that there is no proof that that exists. That maybe the truth is that everybody else is just another version of you, or another version of me. So I saw this idea that if you think like that way, then there's no competition because it's all an illusion. That everybody else is an illusion. There is no others. That some argue that basically everybody else is just a projection of your own subconscious beliefs. So, hello Becky, how you doing? So, yeah, hello Chronic, how you doing? So maybe everybody else is just my subconscious thoughts pushed out, basically. Sometimes I feel like it's a reflection of myself sometimes. Sometimes you can get triggered at something, but sometimes it's kind of like a mirror, and that might be why you're getting triggered, because it's a mirror of something that, of a flaw that you have. So this is why they say to do like shadow work and stuff. You're actually a reflection of me. Well, it's both, apparently. Okay, what's going on? Chronic Carlos. What the hell? No. I've been doing a lot of porridge for breakfast, actually. Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. Thank you. Subscribe if you're new here. So, yeah, basically, been getting into some really wacky theories. And hello, Daniel, how you doing? Badman, what do you mean, Badman? Hello, Arcade. Come on, guys. Anyway, so, hello, Loma Arts. How you doing? So I was like talking about this idea of a universal consciousness, this idea of one consciousness in the universe. Is this what people are calling God? Is this the implications of that is that you are it, I am it. That this whole kind of shared experience is actually all splintered from one experience, from one consciousness, and that there is no separation is what it's suggesting. So, some into quantum physics and stuff like that are suggesting that maybe there is only one soul in the universe, and that everything else is all just a reflection of yourself. Have I heard of what, Joshua? Do you think this universal consciousness is God? That's what I'm starting to think, that maybe basically, I don't believe that God is outside of ourselves. That things are starting to make more sense if you think that, because I'm trying to make sense of the world, and maybe we're never supposed to make fully sense of it because of our limited minds. I don't know what you're saying. Maybe it's filtered out your comment or something. I don't know, but the Matrix, man. Oh yeah, sure. Why not? What you're saying, Chronic? I don't know. It might have filtered your comments. I don't know. It does that sometimes, but. Hello, Mina. How you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Hi. Where are you from again? But it's careful to really make sure that we think positive things, because of like how some say that the universe is a reflection of your own kind of subconscious doubts or beliefs or whatever. Hello, Philip. Ever considered acting? Nah. Okay, unknown. Oh goodness. But yeah, so it's like, maybe if I'm getting a lot of toxic people in my life, does that mean that I'm toxic then? Is what I'm thinking. Good, don't. Okay, well, do you need to be like that? Anyway, I agree with you, God, or whatever it is something inside us. Yeah, well, they say the kingdom of heaven is within, so it makes me think that maybe it literally is. Hello, Jose, is it? I don't know how you pronounce your name, but welcome in here. Thank you for joining me tonight. But yeah, some people believe in consciousness as this unified field, and that, yeah, or who you hang with. Yeah, they say like, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So you have to be careful what energy you're around, because you pick up all these vibrations and stuff, and like attracts like and all. But then it's like, so basically. But also, if you're around certain people then that are toxic, then you're more likely to become like the rest of them. You become like the predominant energy, is what they reckon. Like it has this effect on you. So we have to try and just be around positive people, but then again, some might say that if we become more positive, then we'll naturally attract more positive people. This is the idea of law. Well, there's 2 different schools of thought on this. There's the law of attraction, and there's the law of assumption. So the law of attraction is about aligning your thoughts with what you want to attract it. So it's more about thinking of it externally, whereas the law of assumption is aligning your thoughts with the end result, and kind of like living in that end result, and not thinking of it as outside of yourself. So some argue that the law of assumption is better, but I mean, I don't know if like I said, I'm skeptical of some of these things, but I want to believe that, if I get into, the right mindset, that I can achieve what it is that I want. Because if I stop limiting my beliefs, maybe that's what's been blocking me, is these limiters that I've been putting on my brain. I have certain limiters that I've had on my brain that can, quantum consciousness. Why do you need shrooms for that? Why do you need something external for that, though? I don't know why you would need something external as a way to get into that, if it's a real thing, why I'm a bit skeptical sometimes. And but yeah, I hope everyone's well tonight anyway. Let's get this shared out if you can. But yeah, so I mean, they say like everything's an energy, so we have to be careful what energy we're around. But the thing is that if you assume that there's positive energy all around you, then you're going to then that's the frequency that you align with. It's when we're assuming, that's like, for example, if you assume that everybody's out to get you, then that's the reality that's going to happen for you. If you assume that everybody's evil, then you're going to experience more of that. It's like so you've got to be careful what you think about even things like relationships and stuff like that. If you think that everyone's a cheater, then you're probably going to attract a cheater. Because it's this insecure mindset that is what leads to a lot of it, possibly. So maybe it improves transmissions in the brain folds I can't quite do on my own or regular diet, but I had no idea. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. What's that? What are you saying, Daniel? Anyway, I hope you're all well tonight. Hit that like button. We've got 11 people here. But then who knows? Who's to say that there's 11 people? That's just what it's saying on a screen. For all we know, there could be way more. Because why would we assume that there's 11 people just because it says something on the screen? That's just what the number that they've given me. Well, there's no way of me actually verifying that. So we have to, I guess, try to not really pay too much attention to external things. Because I was thinking about this the other day about, external is an illusion. Like, when we're seeing, like, what appears to be external, like, we experience things like depth perception, but it's only perception. Like, there is no such thing as being able, like, you're not actually looking outwards. Everything you're experiencing is within. So you got to remember that, so everything that is, it's all happening inside your brain. Like, it looks like you're seeing far out, but it's actually all inside. So I was actually thinking some crazy thoughts about, what if there is no outside? What if, like, I know it sounds really bizarre, but hi 341 6668. Hope you well. Have you ever tried ayahuasca? A friend of mine was enthusiastic. Oh, really? I've heard about it. I'm not sure I'd want to try it myself, but someone was also saying that people with autism maybe shouldn't be dabbling in that kind of stuff because who knows, it could be a bit risky. I don't know. You just got to be a bit careful with certain things because I'm already a bit kind of neurotic in some ways. So I don't know. Hello, the addiction kitchen. What you're saying? Do you think it's the brain or the mind? And I know what you mean because our brain is inside our body, but also inside the world, but can't be seen. Yeah, it's really, when you start thinking about things that way, it's really trippy when you to realize that the outside, the perception of the outside is actually inside. It's like, for example, we look at a video game. Think of it as like, when we're seeing a video game and we're seeing like a map, and it looks like we're seeing way beyond, but it's just on a screen. It's all an illusion. So the brain, it's creating an illusion. But I mean, it's just maybe the brain is just some say it's like a hard drive. It's like it's like some say we're living like some kind of simulation. This is what I'm thinking, that this illusion of collective consciousness, maybe it's actually a singular consciousness that is actually bringing everything into reality in a sort of like a dream, but a very advanced kind of dream. It's like a simulation without all the computer crap. It's not. I don't believe we're in a computer, but what do you guys think? Definitely, mate. I think we could possibly be in a game of Sims. I mean, I'm not saying like a game. I think it's more just something that consciousness has actually just kind of thought up. Like it could have just it all come from a thought. Like everything just it, like become more advanced. Like we evolve, and then consciousness evolves, becomes more advanced, and is that why we keep on procreating or something? I don't know. Is that what the whole thing is, that we're trying to advance the species to make it more and more advanced, more and more intelligent? So we keep on creating more. We're not actually bringing any. What if we're actually not bringing any more consciousnesses into the world, but rather it's just another version of you from another life pit, perhaps? Hello, Boogie Boss. We could create better without technology. We are the technology. This is what I'm thinking, that we are like, it's like an organic technology, you could say. I mean, that's where I'm kind of going with this. Yeah, not a game, but like the game, if you know what I mean, a creation game that we are here for. Looks of it, by looks of it, yeah. Because I was just looking at something on apparently Schrödinger believed there was only one consciousness in the universe. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into that. But people refer to Schrödinger's cat experiment, you know, with the one with the cats in the, is it in the box or whatever, and there's a lethal dose of poison, and that one of them. Something like it throws its cat in a box with a lethal dose of poison, but there's a 50-50 chance whether that poison's going to be, whether they're going to actually consume that poison or something like that. I mean, I could be explaining it wrong there, but yeah. India has the same concept, yeah, because I hear a lot of spirituality stuff where they talk about oneness, they talk about, you know, like non-duality, basically. I think the duality comes to, like, maybe you could say in terms of the spirit and the material, that you can't have one without the other. But in terms of consciousness, you could say that there is only one source. There's one source consciousness. What do you mean communist? Who's a communist? What are you saying? A communist. Anyway, but you're alive again. What you mean? Oh no, it's just some. I mean, people just kind of saying shit, and then they're like silent. Like, do you need to say that? But like I said, maybe I was just reflecting a bit, and you know, I need to stop reacting to like bullshit, because I've kind of come to realize that what if like what if like what if, like, you know, kind of, sorry, I forgot what I was thinking. The internet is oneness in a way. It's all connected. Like, it blows my mind when I think about the live feeds on YouTube can connect so many people from all over the world at different times. Exactly. Hello, LM7416. How you doing? So yeah, so I think, like, yeah, what if the consciousness is like you said, like an internet, like it's just, but it's like oneness. It's like a different people at different points in time, but all sharing the same source consciousness. So, hi American Swede, how you doing? Oh yeah, Brahma. Is he on about Brahma? I've heard of Brahma. That's what they call God, isn't it? In like, is that what they call God in, like, is that Hinduism or something? Hang on a sec. Brahma. Hello, 46311. It's a Northern English accent. Yeah. But yeah, how's everybody's day been? I hope you've had a good one. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Is concessions not all the same in every person? What do you mean? Concessions. Hello, Haley. How have you been? I heard you won the Visit Bingo or something. Hello, Chronic Carlos. How you doing? Chilling. Okay, cool. Well, I've heard that Ouija board could be explained due to subconscious cheating or something like that. I think your subconscious can play tricks on you sometimes. So I was looking into that actually and how it can be explained scientifically. So yeah. So I would just say it's not necessarily 100% proven to be some kind of spiritual entities or whatever. And no, I'm English. Yeah. A lot of people think I sound Scottish for some reason. No. Hello, Brittany. How you doing tonight? Hope you're well. Why in Luton? What are you talking about? Yeah, I was on TikTok earlier, but I was on with I was on here with the other device. Am I even here? Well, who knows? It's like I'm kind of at a point where it's like, what even is reality? Hello, Sandeep Hole. How you doing? Thank you. How did that go? I don't know. It was just a bit negative earlier, but I was in a bit of a negative mood as well. But some people are saying that it might be something to do with the full moon, because it's apparently a full moon today, so that can affect people's moods. Apparently, I don't know how true that is, but I'm stuck at a damn casino and I lost my ID. Oh no, that's not good, is it? Hope you find that soon. But yeah. Anyway, welcome in. Hello, Zip. I'm not sad now, I'm fine. Hello, Hannes. Welcome to my live. Nice to meet you all. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, so Addiction Kitchen says, I feel like something is shifting tonight. You're about with the moon. Yeah, well, someone was saying that the full moon just amplifies the whatever some people are feeling. So if people are feeling any kind of negative feelings, it just amplifies that or something. Remember occult practice, billionaires, dark rooms, committing ritual, celestial magic. I think I've seen stuff about that. Some people say that happens at high levels of like Freemasonry and stuff, and there's secret rituals going on and stuff. You're welcome, Andrea. How was your live? Yeah, the energy seems to be lifting for me, more positive, being stuck in a dark place for a good while now. Oh, really? I felt the opposite today. I felt some kind of darkness today. I don't know what it is, but then some might say it depends on your internal state, and maybe it will amplify whatever your internal state at that time. I don't know. What do you guys think about like the full moon and all that, and whether there's any sort of anything to that? Some say it's all BS. It kind of like is related to like astrology and things like that, and I'm a bit skeptical about things like that. Like when people say stuff like, oh, if you're on the same star sign, then they're not compatible or some shit like that. It's like, well, I don't really believe in that. When I look at the full moon, it explodes into little pieces and stays that way for the rest of the night when I look at it. Oh, really? Alright. Interesting. Hope you've all had a good day. Hit that like button. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Words are just noise, and we try to explain things using noise. Different languages are different kinds of noise, and different languages can explain different things. Yeah, I suppose. Jay, thank you for the like. Nice one. Are you still there, Andrea? American Swedes, LMAO. Hell yeah, what you mean? Well, you're still there, yeah. So what is your thoughts on this idea that there's only one soul in the universe? That's basically, it's kind of like solipsism, but instead of it all being an illusion, rather that everybody else is all at different points in time, different consciousness. So you think about it, like you come into this world but there's other people in this world at different points in time, different versions of you perhaps, from the past, maybe the future, and you're interacting with different potential versions of you that I've experienced quantum entanglement, right? So I've been starting to kind of get deep into this kind of philosophy on like, what is consciousness? Why are we conscious even in the first place? And the whole thing of what is the universe without consciousness? I don't really believe that there will be such a thing. And it's sort of like a fundamental part of reality is the ability to experience. Now, yeah, different species have different forms of experience, but being able to experience anything at all, without that, you could argue that the universe would just cease to exist, because there needs to be an observer to collapse the wave into a particle. It's called Brahman, School it up, just a different word. Okay. So, I'm skeptical of all that TBH, mate, but something seems to be shifting. Could just be a time in my life, and I do think we're all connected, but the internet is slowly disconnecting the real connection. Yeah, there is that, with like social media. Some argue that it's like doing more bad than good, perhaps, that it's because people talk about things like auras and stuff, and how when you meet somebody in person you can feel somebody's energy, whereas when you're behind a screen there's that kind of disconnect there. But some argue on a fundamental level we're all connected because we're all one, and there's no separation. And it's just basically like superposition. Like, so some people talk about quantum superposition and all that, and there's different possible realities that are all taking place simultaneously, you could argue, and that you can like shift into whichever one you want to if you can mentally. This is how they explain the law of assumption, which is a more advanced version of the law of attraction. But I know some people are skeptical, and I've been skeptical, but I want to just test things out and see where I can go with it. And you believe in past lives, but this is where I was thinking that there has to be a start somewhere. So maybe it just started with a thought. I mean, this is what, like what they were saying about God, and how maybe there was a thought that just sprung about your life, and it kind of just. So they talk about Adam and Eve and all that, but it's like I don't believe in all that kind of stuff that in that story. But as in like, where did it all come from? Where did all because I don't believe it would have gone on forever. I mean, this is the kind of like contradiction of like, because they say everything has a start, but does it mean there has to be an end or something? I mean, it's like, but I struggle with the idea that we've always been here. Some people believe that we've had infinite lives. I don't think so. It has, in my opinion, it has to have started somewhere. So that's where I'm a bit, I had a dream of following a spirit orb on a property to an old well in the bush, and later ended up living on that property in real time, where there was an old well in the bush of that property. Or maybe it's that, some people say that your dreams are where your subconscious is like playing out, basically, and whatever you're thinking in your subconscious, that's what you're tuning into, and and whatever frequency you tune into, that's what that's the reality that you step into. So, whereas with the law of attraction, they believe in attracting something external, but then questioning whether there even is an external reality. Because if there is no external reality, then that means that it's all an illusion. Because like I said, when we're experiencing things, we're experiencing it internally. Because I was thinking some crazy thoughts that, like even, for example, motion, when you experience motion, like, are you actually moving, or is the world moving around you? Now, yeah, you might feel acceleration, but what if that's just, like an illusion in the brain? Because that's just how we've kind of programmed this reality to just feel like we're moving. But we think about if we're in a video game, like they can like simulate things to feel like you're moving, and it's just, we could just be in this still kind of like bubble, and like everything else is just all, kind of. It's like if you play a video game, and it's like only renders, especially on the old games, you'll see it only, like, say on Minecraft or whatever, you'll see it only rendering bits at a time. And as you like scroll through the game, you'll see new bits of it rendering. So some people see that as like the reality that we're in, that, it's a really quite a trippy concept, but yeah. What's that? I think it will be original. What you're talking about? Hope everyone's well tonight. Anyway, hit that like button, share the live, subscribe. We're buying a copy of what? Sorry. I cross-reference info from my dream with people who knew stuff of that area. Oh wow. Yeah. So it's interesting how people can experience these things, but then some people just kind of say, "Oh, it's just a coincidence." One thing I find quite crazy is when you look at the sun and moon, what do you guys think about this, right? Look at the sun and moon, they both appear to be about the same size. Now what they say is that this is just a coincidence because the sun is 400 times further away and 400 times bigger. But, like, just think about that for a second. Like, how crazy is that? Like, when you see, like, a solar eclipse and, it's almost like a puzzle piece fit. It's just, I'm like, wow, that is a crazy coincidence, isn't it? When we talk about, coincidences, that is one hell of a coincidence. Because I think on other planets, like, the sun and moon are, like, nowhere near the same size or something. It's like, how come that ours just happens to be about that kind of, it's just quite trippy to, like, it's like I don't even need to take any drugs. I can sort of, the things that I see in reality just kind of baffle me. What is gravity? Well, gravity, they say it's like a force pulling you down. But then in Einstein's relativity, they're saying that it's warping of space-time or something. Because in Newton's physics, it's like the Earth's like gravitational pull, because larger mass, if the mass is large enough, it'll attract smaller objects to it. Whereas in Einstein physics, it's like warping of space-time with his general relativity theory. But I don't know. It's a hard one to really get your head around, isn't it? But they were saying that space-time is not linear and it can warp and all that. Hello, Maureen. How you doing? I hope you're well. It's actually not falling. It dances. What you mean, Flashpoint? We were souls, the realm that then our souls enter our body when our body existed. What do you mean? I'm thinking about what if there is no multiple souls and that there's only one soul. And this is what people talk about. The God is the collective you, or the collective me. And that this experience that I have is just a limited form, and that there's what people call a higher self is actually, what if that is actually the unified field of consciousness, which is what actually binds us all together. Hello, Albin. No, I don't think I think that was actually disproven, the whole soul having weight thing. But I don't really believe that the soul actually really weighs anything. But anyway, each individual could be a fragment of a unified entity. That's what I'm saying, that whatever people refer to it, whether they call it God, source, whatever, that this is could be like a unified field of consciousness, and we're just kind of a reflection of that. Each individual could be a fragment. Yeah, I've just read that one. You're my fave. Okay, thank you. Yeah, if anyone's new here, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. The only unite thing we have is our father Adam. Who's Adam? I don't know him from Adam. Hello, N. Hetten. What's that? Yeah. You're saying about the unified consciousness, because people talk about solipsism, but it's another like perspective on solipsism, in a sense that doesn't feel so lonely, in a sense, because like there's this theory of solipsism where I'm the only one that exists and everything else is just all a figment of my imagination. But what if everybody else does exist but they're actually me? So this would be a crazy thought. Like, so what if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're actually in a relationship with yourself, and when you have children with that person, you're actually giving birth to your own self. The fact that billions per year is spent on DMT research centers speaks volumes. God particles. Yeah. I mean, I heard supposedly it gets released before you die. Some are suggesting that it's just to try and make you feel more comfortable about dying or something like that. I don't know. What's that? Isn't consciousness always the same in every person? It's just, there's this whole thing of qualia, and there's just, now people say that consciousness arises from like electrical signals in the brain or something, but they're still yet to really explain how an individual's consciousness arises in the first place. Like, they can talk about mechanisms on information transferring and things like that through things like that. Like, they can talk about all that, but it's like, in terms of the actual individual experience that you have, the subjective experience, what it's like to see the color blue, for example. Why do we see the color blue that way? Like, what? It's like there's just something seems to be lacking about the conventional theories, whether it be science or religion, is what I'm thinking. Secret passage to black hole leads to Andromeda system. How do you know this? Are you actually being for real there? It goes to planet X or something. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. I remember there was that whole planet X thing, but Andromeda's another galaxy, isn't it? Dark forest theory. Can you explain about that? What are your thoughts on wormholes? Do you think they're possible? Like, where you can just like bend space to like basically shortcut to the other side of the universe? That's why Trump wants Greenland. Interesting. I don't know, but it's like, well, surely people have been to the North Pole, right? Wouldn't they see something? Wouldn't they see some kind of? Because I was thinking, what if there's some portal somewhere that leads you out of this place or something? I don't know. The question is why my consciousness emerges at that specific point in time and body, right? It could be in a different body, different time, different parents. This is what I was thinking. That's what I was saying the other day, and most people didn't seem to get what I was saying. Like, why was I assigned this body? But then I had someone in the chat saying, oh, you weren't assigned this body, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, because I was actually reading some it was some Reddit post where they were saying this exact same thing about why did I appear at this point in time? Throughout all of eternity, why now? Why did I come back in this body at this exact moment in time? Hello, Casizio. Good to see you. How have you been? Not seen you around much lately. Hope all is well with you. Hello, Stephen. How you doing tonight? Hope you're well. It's like, why did I come back at this exact moment in time? It baffles me. Like, there's all this time in the universe, and I just come about now, which suggests that there's something more going on, in my opinion, than what meets the eye. I think, bit late. I've been doing my tax planning. Oh yeah, is that for your business you were saying or something? So just getting into consciousness and like what fundamentally consciousness is, and is consciousness itself God? Is that what God actually is? The unified field of consciousness, the oneness. It's said that there is a crack in iceberg that's visible only during aurora occurrence. The crack leads to a tunnel. Interesting. During accounting management, just the annual stuff. Sounds exciting. Your soul was waiting in the realm till your body existed and it entered it, right? But I don't know. It's like maybe there is no waiting. If I don't know what, because I was thinking that maybe there needs to be a body for a soul to really experience anything. But some people are saying, oh, when you're sleeping, you're unconscious. I was thinking, when you're not having a dream, what if no time actually passes from your point of view? Like, if you've not had a dream, like, it would just feel like no time has gone past at all. Do you get what I'm saying, right? Hello, Tully. Like, let's say you go to bed at whatever time at night and you sleep for 8 hours, but if you've not had a dream that night, it could feel like no time has gone past. You just wake up like no time has elapsed, because what I'm saying is you actually need to experience something in order to have any concept of time. So this whole time thing could be an illusion as well, because it comes down to our experience of reality, and that if we don't experience reality, then time is not something that maybe exists, and maybe you could see it as more just a jump of time from your perspective, that time actually just skipped 8 hours. Because unless you had a dream, then obviously then you're... But some people have said that their dreams felt like they lasted a lot longer than they should have or something. I don't know. I mean, you could say it depends on how, kind of deep those dreams get. And time is a biological process. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but some say it's more just a human construct. The first few minutes of a dream is an actual dream, the rest of it is just your imagination. What do you mean? Can you explain that? What's the difference between the dream and your imagination? So I hear stuff on like things like lucid dreaming and astral projection and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, there's people who are saying that they can, astral travel and all that, but if this whole universe is an illusion, then astral projection is also probably just an illusion. Grandmother is 101. What, your grandmother is? Blimey. Hello, Vic. How you doing? What, you can astral project? Is that what you mean? But people saying that they can experience all kind of crazy stuff during astral projection. Time is distance. We are permanently hurtling through space at high speed. I mean, yeah. But it's like, I don't know, it's like, that's from your perspective, but then, who knows, when I pass away, maybe I jump back to like 1800s or something. I mean, so I've been having these kind of crazy thoughts that we experience things only from our perspective. Like, I didn't experience all these other things going on. I don't experience other realities going on right now. So what I'm saying is that reality could just be some illusion, some very advanced illusion. Who knows? Because someone was saying about, is consciousness an illusion? I mean, well, consciousness itself, no, but you might say, well, the things that we are conscious of could be an illusion. I like this one. If there is nothing to fear, I'm not being born, there is no fear in death. What do you mean? Can you explain more about that? Black hole could detach soul from body. That's what you're saying? Well, do you talk about, like, when you go into a black hole, you get sucked in, and then maybe it could pull you out? I don't know, but yeah, it's a wacky theory, isn't it? Yeah. Death detached soul from body. Right. I've been clinically dead, didn't even know. So you didn't have any sort of near-death experience then? Because some people say that they experience levitating or something. If we are unborn, we don't know about life, so we return to the unknown. So you don't believe that there's anything after death? Is that what you're saying? I went to play gacha life. What does that mean? The only person I've seen dead was my granddad, and thought he's gone. His body was there, but he was gone. And last year I had a daughter born on his birthday. It's had me thinking there's something going on. Yeah, well, it's I believe in conscience. What do you mean? Well, conscience is in, like, you have a conscience, guilty conscience or something. That's what I think of when you're saying conscience. You're not dead or alive in black hole means you are in abyss. So what happens then? Are you just kind of like in some kind of void forever? You're perpetually stuck in a void. That would be some kind of scary shit to happen. That'd be like hell or something if you just got stuck in a void and no way of getting out of it or something. No, I just think the personality part of life is linked to the body. The life we return to is in the force of life. Okay. Well, this is the thing about the ego, is what people saying, and that the ego is an illusion, and that the personality that we have in this life is it's a temporary thing. Hello, Hugh. We all know the answer when we die, but from what I know, it's not the end. What makes you say that? But what I'm just thinking about, it could be some kind of unified field of consciousness, is how I'm kind of, it's like with quantum theory and all that, and I mean, some say that deja vu could be explained, but we need an ego while we are here in the body to relate to others and use in daily life. I think it's about, I think the ego is about sort of having a sense of purpose and a reason to get up. Because I think if we have no ego, then there's no reason to even bother. Because life would be pointless. Life would be purposeless. I think we have to have some purpose to even want to bother. Because if we feel like if we're not worth anything, or we're not, important, then what's the point? The purpose for life is to live it. Well, but what I'm saying is that the ego, it requires that we have something deeper, something of more importance than just ourselves, I think is what I would say. Being part of something greater, because that can give you a sense of importance, that you are contributing something. So this might be why a lot of people who they don't feel like they're contributing to society might be more likely to get depressed. So it's about, so I guess the key is to try and find some way to contribute something, because like we can just keep take from the world, but it's like, I think at a certain point it's just going to feel, we've got this fleeting sense of happiness, but just a sense of, just to numb you from a feeling of a lack of connectedness and a lack of purpose in the world. So it's about having an ego, but at the same time also being humble enough to realize that you're not any more important than anybody else. We're all important, but at the same time equally unimportant. So it's kind of like, sounds like a paradox, but it's all relative basically, is what I'm saying. Like our relative importance is not that great, I would say. It's like but we need to have at least some level of importance to want to actually get up and do something. Like there's people who are firefighters, there are people who are doctors, who actually save lives and all that, and it's like they're going to feel a big sense of, like, I think it's just sense of importance in their life, and there's nothing wrong with that. You aren't lying, I'm not but definitely understanding what you mean, what you're saying. Does society even exist? Well, this is what I was talking about with the whole unified consciousness theory, that society could all just be you, as another experience of you. How about that, eh? Another version of you in another life. So this is what I mean. What if, right, when you get with somebody, you're actually in a relationship with yourself, and when you have a child with that person, you're actually giving birth to yourself. You know? How about that, eh? What a crazy idea, eh? Like, yeah. We're just all different points of consciousness of the same entity, you could say. And this is what, maybe ultimately what God is. Not some kind of external deity that governs everything, but rather a unified field of consciousness that we are all part of. So I guess we'll never really know. And maybe that's the fun of it, is that maybe we're not supposed to know. Maybe the mystery of it is what makes it more interesting. Like if we knew everything, then life could get kind of boring. Yeah, 30 is young, yeah. Like we're basically like maybe we're not supposed to know everything. Like having some mystery, I think, is what makes life interesting. It's like, for example, right, when you get with somebody, they say to like be a bit mysterious, to not just always be like telling everything about yourself right away, because that way it makes you more interesting. And when there's more mystery there, then they're like, it's curiosity, isn't it? You know, when there's that curiosity there, it causes intrigue. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it. That it's like, yeah, just being mysterious. That's why they like the. Well, they say, was it tall, dark, and mysterious? You know, there is, I think, some truth to that. They want someone mysterious, someone that's, you know, got a lot of stories to tell, but isn't just going to tell everything right away. Once that mystery's gone, then there's that intrigue gone, and then it can become kind of not so interesting anymore. So Sawyer goes to South America to do that trip thing into the other dimensions. Oh, really? You heard about that Machu Picchu thing? So we were talking about that the other day. Was that supposed to be some energy thing there or something? But were you talking about ayahuasca trip or something, or what are you talking about now? So I hear about ayahuasca as being some people say that it's. Some people see it as like a portal into another reality, but I was just saying, like, why would you need to take something external to like open up portals or something? Why can't you access it from within or something? Is it? Some might say that it just opens your mind up to the possibilities, and that a lot of people have closed minds or something like that. But the Ouija board, I've heard that's something that can be explained. But it'd be interesting to hear if anyone's got any counter arguments to say that, you know, if it can't be explained through science. Because someone was saying that it can be explained due to people making subconscious like movements or something that kind of rig it, or whatever you call it. But yeah, I hope everyone's well tonight. If anyone's new here, hit that subscribe button. Alright, what time are we on now? It's nearly 1 a.m. You're in an attic now, are you? Yeah, is everybody alright then? I don't believe in science or politics. Well, I mean, science is just a method of observing and testing things, and why would you not believe in science? I would say that science doesn't always answer every question. It can be a bit incomplete sometimes, but as in science, I think, can be relied on to try and observe it. When you're through, I mean, we have technologies as a result of science, scientific discoveries, like things such as magnetism and stuff like that. We understand through scientific, observations. Hello, L Dog, how you doing? So to say that you don't believe in science, what you mean you don't believe in science? I don't believe in scientists either. I mean, I could say that some scientists could have agendas and biases, and because some could have certain dogmas, and it's like, for example, a lot of people believed that smoking was good for you back in 60s maybe, or maybe before then, whatever. But once upon a time, people thought that smoking was good for you, but then eventually with more research, then they found that no, it's not good for you. But then it took more science to then find out. Sometimes it's just that you need thorough science to be able to find things out. I don't care what society tells. Okay. They said it was good for you so they could sell more of it. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that some people might not have thought it was good for you, but they just lied, potentially. Because I was thinking something, you remember the whole asbestos thing? What if they knew way before that maybe it wasn't good? Because it's like, they might have still used got people using it even when they knew it was bad. Because, people used that until, like, was it the 80s or something, whenever it were, thinking that it was safe and whatever. Oh, no. Well, no, I'm not in Nottingham, I'm in York. Yeah, I'm in York. I used to live in Blackburn. Anyway, where are you from? Hope you're all well tonight, people. Hello, Onizuka. How you doing? You alright? What's your name? Is that your name? Welcome in here. What do you mean, why am I in York? Because I am. No, it's just like what the name people go by. It's like, I mean, I'm kind of just sick of you. Anyway, let's just, yeah. Like, everyone in England is either from Nottingham or York or North London. Oh, really? Well, I'm not originally from York. I'm originally from Blackburn, but is it next to Blackburn? No. It's about probably an hour and a half drive from Blackburn. It's like the other side of the country, pretty much. Well, not quite, but it's other side of the Pennines. It's like the Pennines is what kind of divides Lancashire and Yorkshire. So I'm on the other side, and then Blackburn's on the other side. You know what I mean? Yeah. Possibly. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, coal mining. Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah. Never thought about that, really. Oh, really? I didn't know that about Estonia. Alright. Oh yeah, I was kind of doing something earlier. I'll show you this, guys. Yeah. Something I'm trying to work on, but the problem is I would need something else for it, really, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So, just using my bed as the, like, call it anchor point, or whatever. Kind of like that. Yeah, kind of almost a tuck planche, but yeah. What's that? Okay, see you later, Onizuka. Onizuka. Yeah, have a good one. Not good for your wrist. Yeah, no, it's just, anyway. I need some kind of, like, bar or something, but, yeah. Well, I did feel something in my wrist earlier, but, like, it was, but it went away. But yeah, it's kind of like, puts your wrist in a kind of very, what do they call it, very, stretched. Something, yeah. But I don't know, I don't seem to really, I struggle with doing it on the bar. It might just be the whole thing of, maybe I'm just afraid I'm gonna fall or something. Yeah. Maybe I'm just afraid that I'm gonna fall if I try and do it on some bar or something, but I'll have to try. They've got a parallel bar. I could try it outside, but it's just, I don't know what the right height would be for me, because maybe taller people need a different height or something, I don't know. I guess it wouldn't really matter. But even on a bar, it could be. Couldn't it still be strain on the wrists or something? I guess maybe not as much. It's just doing stuff like that. I'm afraid that I'm gonna, because I remember I was trying to do the crow, or some call it the frog stand, and I ended up like falling and trying to do it, and I ended up like, I think I hit my chin on the floor or something like that. If I remember, something like that happened. I'm like, shit, maybe I shouldn't bother with this. It's like sit like that, kind of like, I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know. Just are you going for a walk in the country tomorrow? Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you enjoy that then. Putin. Huh. Yeah, I was just like, it was after my grandmother passed away, so I was living with her. So I ended up moving with my dad for a while, and I've just stayed over here because that's where he lives. And it's just, but I moved on my own after that. But anyway, but I don't know if anyone's got a tip for like tuck planche to like kind of, say if I'm doing it, it's kind of like a parallel bar or something. I see some people use it like on parallettes or something on a lower position. I'm not sure like what the best. Cause you could say maybe it's better on parallettes because if you do fall, then you've less distance to fall or something. But I don't have parallettes, so I'm not sure what the best thing I can do really. Hello Stargazer, how you doing? So I was getting into this whole thing of unified consciousness or something. This whole thing of what if there's only one consciousness, that was what I was getting into. What if only one consciousness exists? And that, yeah. I mean, some really mad theories out there. Just been talking about that, yeah. Well, you've been talking about it with somebody else. This whole idea of one consciousness in the universe. Because what we're saying with this law of assumption is that you basically, if you're with the quantum theory, that you're basically there's this illusion of other when it's all you. Like some call it like panpsychism or something. That's one word that people, where it's like everything is all a projection of you or something. I mean, hello Roblox doll, how you doing? I don't know, it's just it sounds like I've been on some substances, but to be honest, I have not been on anything. I just naturally have these thoughts sometimes. So maybe the whole thing was, the whole God thing was him basically giving birth to life at the start, to basically have another way to experience himself. So it would basically end up having infinite ways of experiencing himself. They're all different expressions of the one I am. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. Oh yeah, you off now. See you later, Flashpoint. Hit that like button if you haven't already. During I seen Deathbat troll bad people. When I seen him here, I thought he thinks you bad. Yeah. I just don't really pay much attention. Hello, Shaky. How you doing? You alright? Croatia, nice and warm. Well, is it still warm at this time of year? It's fucking raining outside. It's been miserable tonight. It was actually quite nice earlier, but then it just went miserable. But yeah. Well, that's good then. Yeah, some people like move over some of those countries like Croatia and Bulgaria and places like that where it's a bit more sunny and kind of a bit more like Mediterranean sort of weather. Because it can get pretty miserable at this time of year. Where are you at again, Shaky? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, welcome in everybody. Hope you've all had a good day. Thank you for being here tonight. But yeah, it's just having thoughts about oneness, because that whole idea might make us feel less lonely in a sense, even though maybe there's no other than you, but loneliness could be just some illusion that is in your head, because we're all unified in that theory. Hello, Svetka. How you doing? You had a mini heat wave or down under. I just got my tax return in 5 minutes before midnight deadline. Oh really? Oh yeah, because Casitio was saying that they'd just been sorting out their taxes as well. So yeah, it's that's the thing, I suppose. When you have your own business, that you're more responsible then, innit? So what is it that you did again? Anyway. Yes, rain, love it when asleep in attic. Oh yeah, rain can be quite soothing, I guess. What is it about rain that's so soothing? Like, why is it that people find rain relaxing? Is it just because of nature? I don't know. Nature is just quite, I don't know, it's just, I don't know what it is about that. Why is it so soothing to people, hearing the rain and thunder and whatever? Does anyone know why that feels that way? But yeah, so I was looking into this thing, Stargazers, because apparently Schrodinger actually believed that there's only one consciousness. So he was the one that with the Schrodinger's cat, right? Every year I say I get more organized, but paperwork. Oh yeah. Nature sounds. So why is it that nature sounds are so soothing? Is what I'm saying. Rain is soothing because we DNA wired to relax to it. But as in why though? As in why is that relaxing though? What is it about rain that's relaxing? I mean, why would the DNA be wired to relax to rain? What is it about rain that, like a shower of soul? Because it's godly. I guess it's, yeah. I guess it's just something to put your attention to, like the waves crashing and things like that, like birds chirping. It's just, I guess it's the whole sense of like, I guess it makes you feel less lonely or something. I don't know. It's like when there's like the motion going on or something, and is it to do with like a sense of presence with the universe? Look how we all easily connected with rain. Oh yeah. Connection to source. Right. Yeah. But it's something that we all ubiquitously experience. Like a sunset is another thing as well. Like That's something that we've all experienced in our life, is a sunset. There's something about a sunset as well that can be quite, yeah. Hello, Rinda, how you doing? Hope you're well tonight. Good to see you. There's something about us just watching a sunset, and especially when it goes red, and yeah. We're not nocturnal animals. Yeah, no. Yeah. Not 80%, probably about 60% water, I think they say. Maybe a little bit more. I think muscles can be about 75-80% water, but parts of our body are less. Like, for example, body fat is only maybe 10% water. So a lot of it's going to depend on how much body fat you have. I mean, let me have a look at this actually. People with high body fat, less water percentage, something. So a sunset makes us relax, the sunrise wakes us up. Yeah. It's still to do with like the circadian rhythm, basically. But maybe we're supposed to watch a sunset because of the red light going into the eyes as a signal to produce more melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. Which is, I've heard there's something about melatonin supposedly having antioxidant effects and stuff. It's not just a sleep hormone, but it can actually have a antioxidant effect and can improve your immune system and all that kind of stuff. So, good theory, yeah. You need to look at evolution of animals to understand more. Right. So this is what it's saying. People with higher body fat percentages typically have a lower total body water percentage because adipose tissue contains significantly less water, 10 to 40%, compared to muscle tissue, which is about 80% water. So basically, yeah. So that would mean that people with higher amounts of muscle mass are typically going to have a higher percentage of water, which, yeah. So if your body fat's very low, you could be up to about 70% water, maybe, something like that. Right. Whereas some people, like high body fat, they might only be about 50% water. So yeah, so it depends on each individual, is what I'm saying. There's different factors. Genetics could be a factor and things like that. But yeah, so I was thinking actually, if you have a lot of muscle, would that mean that you might need more water or something to maintain that? Okay. I mean, I drank it like when I was quite a long time ago, but didn't do much of it. I just don't care for alcohol. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Yeah, I have no interest in alcohol personally, but each to their own, I'd say. What are you on about, Maureen? What's going on? Hello, Orion Barbarian. I listened to, like, what was it? About living in the end or something like that. Yeah. Hello, Nemo. Oh, you're alcoholic. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, when things get to that level, then that can be bad. Yeah, if you're outside, of course you are, yeah. L Dog says, if you ever need him, well, that'll be... Okay, thank you. Did you enjoy it? Hang on, what are we talking about? Who are you talking to here? It is said if you drink soda pop or coffee, you need to drink even more water. Oh yeah. Actually, with creatine, you need to drink more water. I wanted to get into this thing on creatine because I was looking into some on beetroot juice. And so, because people were worried about creatine might affect your kidneys or something like that. Well, let's have a look at beetroot juice. Apparently it does the opposite or something where it's like, if I remember, it's supposed to be good for them or something. So, yes, it said about something about, what is it called, phosphocreatine or something. Let's have a look. Hello, Ellie Exploits, how you doing? Cranberry juice, or is it? Not sure. I'll have to have a look. So it talks about faster resynthesis of creatine. I thought I remember seeing something on. It might have been on some other thing. I thought I remembered something about it being beneficial for some organ or something like that, but what's so funny, Maureen? I'm just having a look at, yeah, so apparently it talks about resynthesis of phosphocreatine. So maybe, hello Beeswax, how you doing? Is that true though? I don't know. Because they were saying, oh, like a glass of a day of wine is good for your heart or something like that, but it's like, is it really going to give you any benefits? Some would say that you'd have to drink copious amounts to where it would actually, the benefits would be outweighed by the negatives or something. Anyway, what's not true? I don't know if maybe beetroot doesn't do that, but I remember something on creatinine is what I was looking at. A thing called creatinine where people were worried that you could end up, if you take a creatine supplement, that you would have elevated levels of creatinine. So yeah, it's supposed to, let me have a look, saying it's got potential in protecting kidney health, while also impacting blood markers like creatinine. So it's saying here renal protective effects, renal function indicators. But then there's the whole thing of oxalate, content warning, kidney hemodynamics. So yes, you have to be careful about the oxalates in beetroot juice if you've got a history of kidney stones. Yeah, I would say that Nemo probably. It's just, it almost seems like there's people trying to like kind of convince themselves that they're, you know, doing something good. Like people want to hear good things about their bad habits. So I was saying this the other day about, yeah, because someone was making the analogy like, oh, but smoking clears your lungs because it causes you to cough or something like that. It's like having that argument where it's like, yeah, but, you know, it's a net negative or something. It's like, yeah. Is that what you believe? I mean, someone would say that if you just drank one beer once in a while, then what kind of harm could that do? you could argue it'd be so negligible that you wouldn't even notice it. And then, yeah, there's a lot of oxalates in beetroots. Yep, I believe so. And why is that, Sandeep Hull? But I was just looking at, yeah, like, but let's look at how to attack from oxalate stones. What's that? Okay, beeswax. Hello, Satan. What's that? Anxiety, hello. Rinda, take care, see you later. So it says here about drinking enough fluids. So it says take medication, drink enough fluids, eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, avoid eating too much protein from foods like beef, pork, poultry, fish and seafood. Why is that then? Eat less salt, make sure to get enough calcium from food, avoid vitamin C supplements, limit very high sources of oxalate. Andrea says he's not, yeah, no, it's just, they're just being stupid, so yeah, how to prevent oxalates forming kidney stones. So that's what people are concerned about, basically, that many people can prevent kidney stones by drinking enough water, getting enough calcium from food, eating plenty of fruit. I've already read that, something that, you know, someone was saying that the gut microbiome is what, if you have a good gut microbiome, that can help with preventing of kidney stone formation. Let's have a look at this. It says, yes, a healthy gut microbiome can help prevent kidney stones, particularly the most common type, calcium oxalate stones. The microbiome regulates stone formation through the gut-kidney axis by metabolizing dietary oxalate, producing beneficial short-chain fatty acids, and reducing inflammation. Hello, Erin Robert, how you doing? Figs and dates are alkalizing. Yeah, dates are nice, yeah. Figs, yeah. Someone actually grows figs not far from where I live. I actually just foraged it off there because they were hanging over, so technically I could do that. They didn't actually taste very sweet, actually. Probably because in this country they're probably not going to be as sweet, because you could say it's not really the right weather necessarily. They'll probably taste better if they're grown in like the Mediterranean or something. It's not a crime, is it? I don't think that's a crime, is it, if you're doing that, right? I don't know, but because you could argue it. If something's like on public property, then it's technically not theft or something. Not an acid mind myself, but I like some bases, yogurt. What are you saying, yogurt is base or something? You're talking about like, you've got what's it called, subacid or whatever, and I don't know, it's or falafel, oh yeah. So you make them, how do you make them? Do you fry them or something? Or some people bake them. It's just that they don't have as much taste if you do it that way. It's just, depends, I guess, how you season them. A little summoning, or you deep fry it. Yeah, that's the thing, it's just loads of oils and stuff. What do you use to fry it? I guess it depends on what you're using, but some say like olive oil would be better than, say, seed oil or something. Sauerkraut, oh yeah. Someone was saying that kimchi is supposed to be better or something for the gut than sauerkraut. I've never had kimchi though. I actually had some Polish stew. It had sauerkraut in it, but I've never had kimchi. What's that like? I don't know what it is, but is it Korean or something? I'll have to look. I have a deep fryer in veg oil. Yeah, I would prefer olive, but the only thing is olive oil can be quite expensive if you're using a lot of it. Yeah, kimchi is Korean, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, is it really? What is it again? Kimchi. Have you ever had kombucha? Oh, it's fermented vegetables, mostly commonly napa, cabbage, and radishes. So it's kind of similar to sauerkraut then. What about apple cider vinegar? Who was it that was talking about? Someone was saying to me that they started doing apple cider vinegar. Yeah, I had someone round the other day and they were saying that they'd started doing apple cider vinegar and it's been helping them with like metabolism and stuff. I'd have to look more into that, but it's supposedly meant to help, so I'll have a look into that actually. Kombucha, yeah, it's 0.5% alcohol. Well, that's very low, but yeah. I mean, it would be hard to get drunk off like 0.5% alcohol, but yeah. Do they always have alcohol or something? Yes, apple cider vinegar, get the one which contains the mother. What you mean, the mother? Well, it says it may subtly boost metabolism, but it's just mother of vinegar. All right. Hello, Tyler Clegg. Okay. I don't even use normal mouthwash because of the alcohol. Oh yeah, I've heard actually that mouthwash could actually, some of it could destroy the good bacteria in your mouth, which can destroy the nitrates, or not. Well, I mean, it can destroy the bacteria that turns nitrates into nitrite. Nitrite gets converted to nitric oxide, so the bacteria in your mouth is a beneficial thing for that to get converted into nitric oxide. Otherwise, it blocks that kind of crucial step of that. So yeah. So if you're taking mouthwash all the time, then that might limit how much you can actually convert or something. Oh yeah, coconut oil. Yeah, I've heard apparently some people use coconut oil for like their teeth. I've also heard people use it. Apparently, some people use baking soda as a toothpaste. I've also heard some people use baking soda in sports to help delay fatigue. But you've got to be careful with using that stuff. I think Jesse Pollack uses baking soda as a pre-workout. But that may help delay the onset of like soreness and fatigue because of the buffering the lactic acid. Kind of similar to beta-alanine, but it's supposed to be a lactate buffer. But that's something else I thought I'd mention, but yeah. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, just fermented foods. Yeah, that's supposed to be good. Hi, Maureen, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh goodness. Huh. Oh, yeah. Why is Guinness like so dark in colour compared to the other ones? Is the ingredients different or something, or what's the reason for that? Like the other ones look like fresh piss, and Guinness looks like piss that's been, like around for a long time. So I remember I was looking into some really weird shit, right? People there are literally people that age in their urine. There's supposedly some health benefits to it. I mean, and it goes like really, really dark. And I remember in one of them there was actually a fucking mushroom growing in it. Like, what the fuck? The darker the beer, the better. Oh, really? But that's not going to be the case with fucking urine, is it, Those people call it urine therapy. It's like, is it... I mean, I don't really buy into all that stuff. I mean, like, how has that got any benefit? Like, your body wants rid of urine, so why would you put it back inside you? That's where, like, people go off the deep end with, like, the rabbit holes and stuff, where they start to think that urine is medicine. Like, what next? Like, they're gonna start eating shit or something. Is that where it's gonna go to next? Because it's this slippery slope of like, yeah. There's that conspiracy thing. Oh, we've been conditioned to think that shit is bad, and that it's always used as some derogatory word, and it's all conditioning. But that's like, but it's actually said to have some health benefits or some bullshit. No, come on, you're into why would your body get rid of it if it wants to? Why would you? It's like your body is getting rid of it for a reason. And I know people say, oh, it's just excess. Well, if it's excess, then it's excess that your body doesn't want. There's people who drink it, and they're like, why would you do that? If your body wants to expel it, it doesn't want to go back in. Like that's the. I'm just saying that's what. I would think. It's like you don't want to be putting that shit back in your body. Like that is just like what the fuck. There was this guy called Snake Diet. I think he did that shit. Like I think he was promoting that shit a while ago. But I remember he flip-flopped. He used to say that high-fat diets were the best, and now he's saying that high-carb diets are the best. I mean, okay, cold. So like, no, it's just like, why would you drink something that your body's getting rid of? I mean, it'd be like putting exhaust back inside your car or something. I don't know. It's like, hello, Big Dragon. How you doing? Welcome. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It's like, I'm trying to think of another example. It'd be like putting, I don't know. It would be like breathing back in like air that you've just expelled or something. Like air that you've breathed out breathing that exact air back in. I don't know, it's just like, why would you put something back in your body that it's trying to get rid of? Well, technically it's high in salt, so it makes you thirsty. Repeated cycle kills your body. Yeah, that's the thing when you're... Yeah, sodium, that causes dehydration, which actually leads to more water retention, doesn't it? Because, like, water retention's like your body's defense mechanism, I believe, to try and... Because if it senses that water is, you know, scarce, then it tries to hold on to as much as it can. So it will, yeah, kind of preserve it. But whereas if you drink more water, it'll actually hold on to less water. It's like the body's quite clever at the way it will sort of adapt to certain environments and things. Apart from fetishism, sometimes people have the urge to eat dirt, feces and urine because they're suffering mineral deficiencies. Yeah, minerals, yeah, like and vitamins, like you were saying. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, if you're craving soil, then yeah. 'Cause I've heard this thing called, I think it's called geophagia or whatever it's called, where people, is it whatever it's called? Whatever the word is, it's where they eat soil. Basically means they eat earth. Geo means earth. Phage, it means eat. So they eat the earth eaters. Waste, whatnot. Anyway, so like, yeah, they're eating earth, basically. They're so yeah, they must have some like mineral deficiencies, like iron or calcium or what, zinc, whatever, because it's going to be plentiful in the soil, right? So yeah, they're probably not getting it from the food. So that makes sense. Hello, the 7Q, how you doing? If anyone's new here, hit that subscribe button. Some companies sell clean earth just for eating, really? Oh god. I was thinking a while ago, like, why don't we just eat grass? But then humans can't eat grass because they don't have the stomachs to like process it. Because a cow, they have 4 stomachs. But we can eat wheatgrass though. We can eat wheatgrass and lemongrass, which is like a different type of grass that it's got at least some like simpler carbohydrates in it that we can actually process, because the body cannot process these very complicated carbohydrates like cellulose. Cellulose is like a type of fiber that we cannot digest, basically, whereas cows, they can actually digest some of that and they can actually use it. Yeah. But it would be great, wouldn't it, if... I was thinking if I don't know, if I was God or something, like, why didn't I not just... This is where I think about, like, with food and food scarcities and things like that. Like, if I was God, why not just... Like, if there is a need for food, why not just have everybody live off fucking grass or something, you know? Something that's abundant everywhere. But we can't just eat that. Now, there's a lot that we can eat. Like, there's a lot of things, but grass is something that can just be so abundant and, yeah. Because if we could have eaten grass, then we would have basically solved world hunger, right? Pretty much. But we could do things like aquaponics and stuff. We'll talk about that earlier. Yeah. which is, I guess that can be possibly some solution. Eggs are super healthy. Well, I hear different takes on all that. Some say that because they're high in choline and stuff like that, that some argue that high choline is not good. And I mean, I don't know enough about all that, and there was always going to be arguments, counter arguments, and yeah, because there were some people saying that they're high in cholesterol, but then because it's dietary cholesterol, it is not necessarily going to increase cholesterol that much. Some people say it's more to do with saturated fat that causes it rather than that. But yeah. Anyway, but everyone's got kind of their own. Some people say it could be biases or whatever, but it's just there doesn't seem to be a consensus, and I don't know. It's I just find the whole thing of eating eggs and dairy kind of weird, but that's just my thoughts on that. But yeah, is everybody alright? Hope you've all had a good day. I might restart the live, guys. There's not much going on here, so I'll be back in a minute.